All right, Kemurite fam, what's up? We are here today back with another martial arts lesson. This is me, Red Suit, here just letting you guys know that one, I love you, and y'all are my homies, and all that stuff. All that aside, let's get back into our lessons here. So today we will be going over what I like to call punching. Super easy. Everybody's heard of punching. It's not like a grand thing that you have to learn how to do. Most people can do it straight out of the womb, just blah, 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 blah. And everybody's seen somebody boxing before, right? So we're going to do it from our two perspectives that we have, our traditional and our modern, right? So traditional, we're going to start learning how to do our punches out of that horse stance, right? So if you remember, we start with our feet square apart. Let me take my shoes off, sorry. Start with our feet together, right? We're going to do this like this. And remember, we are going out with our heels, right? Then out. Oh, sorry, did that wrong. It's the other way around. It's splay, out, and then right here, right? We sink down low and put it in our chamber. Now, let's talk about the chamber before we move any further in, right? Why do we call it a chamber when I have it right here? Take some time to think about it. Okay, that was enough time. We call it a chamber because it's just like the chamber of a rifle, chamber of any kind of firearm. So when I punch, boom, that's when it comes out of the chamber and it's like a bullet, okay? So that's why we call it the chamber. Nothing too fancy, nothing too strange, right? So right here, we're gonna be in our stance. I'm gonna show it from this side first, right? Our punches, let's go ahead and make our fists the same way that we told ourselves we would before. Lock them in, boom, all the way in the chamber. Now, I'm going to get real close for this, and I'm going to kind of be outside of it. But so from right here in the chamber, with that, right, we're going to slowly take our hand, push it out, keeping it aligned with our body in this traditional way. Boom, 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 all the way out, and at the very end, we're going to sink with our legs like this, and at the same time we're going to twist, right? That's called a kime. It's called a kime, right? In Japanese, kime just means that twisting motion, that locking in at the end of a punch. So right here, we're going to get into our horse stance and punch slowly, right? Now every time we're going to, here, let's do it from this side. Right? Punch slowly. Now, every time that we punch, we're going to try and replace it with a different one. So we raise up just a little bit, boom, sink low again. Right here, raise up just a little bit, boom, sink low again. And we want to make sure that while we're doing this, we're not leaving our stance. Boom, boom, and then you can start going a little bit faster. Boom, boom, boom. And this is a really good training tool. If you ever watch Baki, this is exactly how like Red Tsukayo trains. He just does stance training most of the time. He'll sit right here in either a horse stance. He'll do a Chinese horse stance, which is the same thing. The only difference is that you're, instead of having your reins, right, pretend like you're actually riding a horse and your chamber is no longer the reins. Back here, your chamber is up here. If that makes sense. I could probably explain it a little bit better if you ask. But basically, right here, boom, 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 and then you can start getting fast with it. Boom, 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 boom. Right? Sorry for looking off. This is a bright light. But from the other side, we're right here. Boom, 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 boom. Now, if we want to really just go with it, we're going to be right here. And each time we strike, we're going to do it with conviction. The reason I say conviction as opposed to passion or anything like that is because conviction is something that you really have to summon from within yourself, that necessity and that need to do so. So if I'm right here, boom, punching with conviction, I'm making sure everything aligns at the same time. Boom, boom, boom. Now, there's some other ways you could do this. You can also twist your hips, do a little kime in your hips. That's more of a rotational shore and roost style. Boom, boom. That's where I'm pushing them up and then moving them back. That's a boom. It's less of a stay out like Shotokan and more of a pop and pull back, right? Okay, now, since we're on that subject, let's go ahead and change our mind a little bit. We're gonna move into, sorry about that. We're gonna move into our sporty, our modern, right? Now, right here, the difference is, remember our modern stance, right here, one leg forward, one leg back. It doesn't matter if you're in southpaw or orthodox. Now that we're in this stance though, we have a different level, different playing field, right? Imagine like you're on a cross now, right? Imagine the floor up under you is a cross. And if you need to take, you know, a little cross on the floor, it's even better, right? Just something to keep you still and in place, right? At least for this point. So we're right here. Now, we have a front hand and a back hand. And your front and your back are gonna punch differently than they would if you were in a horse stance, right? In our traditional, they're even, right? In our modern, we're really trying to cultivate both sides of our body, right? But we're gonna have some favoritism. This is something where it's all right to have a little bit of favoritism, preferentially on whether you like using your right or your left. So, we'll talk about the two types of punches that we have in our system, right? Which is a jab and a cross, right? Those are the first two straight punches. We're also going to go over the hook and the rear, or the lead hook and the rear hook. So, right here, I'm in my guard, right? I'm just going to take up a high guard, make sure my elbows aren't flying out, they're staying in, nice and tight. I'm hunkered down, boom, right here. From this shoulder, remember, everything's still going to come from the hips, but with this, I'm going to imagine that that each one of my bones aligns as I punch, right? It's still going to be the same twisting motion, but you notice even, and this is just body movement for me right now, this is muscle memory. I can't punch without turning my hip out anymore. And hopefully you get to that point, because what you want to do is use your hips, your body, to really get that extra feeling, right? So I'm right here, I'm using this first knuckle, right? Pinpoint precision. I would be using two, but I busted this one, so I'm using this one. You can always just use these first two. Make sure whenever you're punching, those are lined up with your ulna right here and your radius. Boom, right? So you want to make sure that whenever you're in that mode engaged, you can kind of see right here how it lines straight up along my arm. Don't want to hit with these yet, because that will give me a boxer's fraction. All right, so I'm right here. Same thing as before. Turn that hip, boom, turn it out. And with your front hand, this is called a jab, right? So I'm right here, boom, jab. Now in our modern, we're always gonna pop in and pop right back out. Boom, so right here, jab, boom, right? Jab, boom, jab, boom. And you can start mixing footwork in it with it, right? So maybe take a step forward while you jab, boom, right? Boom, boom, boom. You can do it going forwards, going backwards. Your jab is your range finding tool. It's also kind of sneaky if you learn how to throw it like a straight. So, speaking of, we're right here. Straight hand, it's the back hand. Let me do it on this side, because I do need to practice my southpaw a bit. It's my natural stance, but shouldn't be. Said that wrong. My bad, guys. So I'm right here with this cross, the same hand. I'm going out. Now, if you can't see my feet, you may be able to. I'm taking this foot and I'm do it like this so you can see it. Taking this foot, I'm putting my ball of the foot down and I'm turning on it. I'm turning on this back foot. Anytime I do it, that's called a pivot, right? Doesn't matter if it's a jab or a cross, right? I'm gonna pivot. Boom, turning that foot out. Now I digress. So right here, the only difference is that your cross, your shoulders are going to turn cross against your body, right? Remember, we have that imaginary chalk on there. We're gonna take, whereas this where's our jab? We're already across that line. We're gonna take our shoulder for that cross and move it across, if that makes sense. So that's why we call it a jab, cross, boom, and you can do this. Boom. Simple warm up just to get you going. Boom, 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 boom. Same thing. Gotta fix my fists. Boom, boom. And that pivot on that back foot, like I was saying, isn't necessary if you know how to open up your hips. If you're flexible enough to just keep your feet planted and move back and forth, then go, by all means do that. It's something that you really need to learn how to do anyway, which is hunker down and just swing, right? Now, we got 2 more to cover. Super easy. We got a lead cross, a lead hook and a rear hook. But we're gonna save those for another video. Just cause I don't feel like doing them right now. And they are a little bit different. There's a little bit more of stuff to go in. But I hope you've enjoyed this lesson. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please hit my DMs. My name on Discord is RetsuYGO. Anyway, thank you. Peace.